Right now, I woke up by myself here at my apartment, and I don't think I'm gonna be moving out from here from this address. I think I'm permanently staying here in San Juan. The reason of that is because we lost the house that we had in Alamo and the house that we had in FAR. So we ended up here in San Juan. But you are right. You have to be a graduate or a part-time employee to receive some kind of income or updates about the public city interests. And so right now I can't go anywhere. Like I gotta stay inside, and I cannot go to the stores or anything because of my disability. So I'm gonna be staying here until I can fully make changes. I don't think I'll be moving out anytime soon, and I really didn't want to move out. But there is times where I get frustrated, desperate, and annoyed of being here because there's nobody to talk to. I was thinking of installing a Windows HP computer and a Xbox 360 or PlayStation Live game system for my bedroom. And I was thinking of selling all the furniture later in the future and getting new stuff for the living room and the bedroom. It's because I don't receive a lot of visitors or a lot of people. And the only way I can make changes is if I work. But you need to at least be a part-time employee or work full-time. And I'm unemployed right now. For right now, I'm hoping that I can get back to work because I am disabled. I've been disabled since 2011. Some people have a different way of living because they have a husband and children, and they have a big family with their parents, like brothers and sisters, and so it's different for them to live with their family. My mom and dad, they don't live with me. My dad left us since the age of 5, since I was 5 years old. When I was 15, he didn't come to the family reunion party that I had when I was 15. And right now that I'm already 20, 25, I'm 30, gonna be 32 in December. Right now that I'm 20, 25, 30, he can't come to visit because we didn't graduate and didn't get a college degree or anything, so we cannot pay the transportation. But once I pay my transportation and my vehicle, I'll be able to make visits to my dad. The reason I cannot pay for a car or for gas money is because my mom and dad have financial needs right now. We don't understand why so many financial issues right now if I don't go to college or anything. As a matter of fact, we don't own a car. My mom does own a car, but she's still paying for it. And that's all we own. That's all we own. We don't own a house or anything. We just own a car. And so like, it's not even mine. It's my mom's, and my dad hasn't invited me for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, or for Valentine's Day out. He hasn't invited me anywhere. And my godfather, my baptism godfather, he cannot be here for me. Like, he cannot be part of my family or visitors because my aunt, my mom's sister, and him they went through a divorce, and it was terrible. So my aunt had a second wedding, and ever since we cannot be friends with her or the family. So her husband, which is my godfather, he distanced himself more from me and my mom. But he was a very good man, a very good person, a very good friend. We were very happy when he was in the family. We were very happy when we were able to visit him and his wife that he had at that time. She's my mom's sister. And so she and him baptized me before the age of 10. And they baptized me in Mexico. So when I was supposed to have my wedding in high school, I couldn't get the church help that I needed for the wedding. And I don't talk to my ex-husband or boyfriend ever since because we went through a separation, and he no longer comes to see me or me go to see him. I think the last time I spoke to him was before 2011. And ever since, we haven't talked. We haven't gone to the movies or out to eat or to the mall. He hasn't came to see me, and I haven't gone to go see him either. The reason that we're going through financial issues right now is because we were supposed to have a wedding, and they lied about college. They were saying that supposedly I was enrolled and registered at a college, and that I already had the FAFSA application, and that I already had financial help from the college. And they were lying the whole time. I guess they made a mistake in the paperwork, because I have not attended classes. I'm not registered in the program for the classes. And I did have a student ID from the Jaguars College education program, but I never attended classes or anything, because I'm having relationship issues right now since 2008, 2007. And I haven't gone back to the relationship. We were together for about a semester or two, a year or two, and we were living together at his mom and dad's house. But this was before the age of 18. Right now, I'm not 20 or 25 or 30. I'm going to be 32. And we have been fixing the relationship ever since then. I'm disabled. I've been disabled since 2011, and I cannot have him at the house because his music and profession is very different than the one I had since I was a little girl. I don't understand why he's so different from all the other students and persons that I ever dated and met, if he comes from the same group of people. And I'm talking about his family, not his friends. I was really interested in him, not his friends, because he was the reason why I was living with his parents and him. I had no interest in any of his friends or any of his ex-girlfriends or any of his classmates. As a matter of fact, I lost interest in his classmates because all of them had drug-related problems at home and with friends. And so I didn't want to get involved with any of his classmates or any of his friends from the house. But it's not true that I didn't love him, and it's not true that I didn't want to be with him. What happened was that I wasn't feeling very good, and I really needed some time by myself. I wasn't fully conscious when we were using alcohol, and he wasn't with me throughout the whole time that I used alcohol with his classmates and friends. But it wasn't true that I didn't love him and that I didn't want to be with him. That was a big lie. But I did need time alone to think about what I was getting myself into and to see if my mom and dad wanted to be friends with him and his family, but only them. I was not interested in Crystal. I was not interested in JP or any of his friends. I'm very happy that I left the relationship for some time because I don't want anything to do with his classmates or his friends. I have already moved schools lots of times. We moved over to San Marcos and to Dickinson because we have health issues right now in the family, and we have separations and divorces, and I am disabled. I've been disabled since 2011. The physical problem that I have right now is that I'm very overweight, and I cannot do a lot of physical movement. And I cannot run or jog or do exercises for a long period of time. But I can walk and get up a little bit, but not a lot. And when they diagnosed me with a disability, it wasn't because of a physical condition, but that is the reason why I knew that there was something wrong with my body, with my mind, and with my well-being. Because I started to lose my strength in my body, and I started to lose the ability that I had before in my body. I was becoming depressed. I was becoming angry, and I was becoming very frustrated and annoyed. And we had like 5 or 3 divorces in the family, and like 5 or 8 or 10 weddings in the family. And he hasn't came to visit ever since the breakup that we had in high school, and he hasn't invited me over to his house or anything. And we don't talk anymore. We don't go out or anything. But it wasn't true that I didn't like him when we were together. That is a big lie. He most definitely knows that that was a big lie, because I was very affectionate, very passionate, and very respectful towards his body and his physical changes that he had in those 2 semesters. If I lost interest in wanting to go see him, it wasn't because of him and his family. It was because of his friends, his classmates, and his ex-girlfriends. That was the only reason why I didn't go to his house. But other than that, I was very happy, with or without the drugs. But I started to feel depressed, and I started to feel a downer with the alcohol and drugs that we were using. And yeah, so my dad right now, he's at the hospital. He's been at the hospital for more than a week. I think close to a month already. And I have no transportation, and I cannot go to his house because I have a lot of issues right now in the family. And so me, my mom, and my dad, we don't live together. My dad left us when I was like 5 years old. When I was like 5 years old, he used to live with us in FAR. And he had plans for me, my mom, and him so we could live together. But my mom said no, that she didn't want to continue the relationship. And she left the relationship. But I didn't know that because I didn't think about that. I don't even remember why they broke up. And so I remembered, and I started to gain conscious. I started to remember that they had broken up. And so they broke up, and my dad doesn't come and see us anymore. I'm always by myself in the holidays, New Year's and Valentine's Day. My family just comes to leave a little candy bag or a cupcake, or they come to see us, but we don't stay together for a long time. If they come to see us, they just stay for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, probably half an hour or an hour or two. But about half a day or a whole day or the whole weekend, no. It would be a good idea that they help us do a fundraiser at the house for the city, because we need to show some kind of interest from the family. I didn't graduate when I was in school, and I most definitely quit the job that I had and didn't go to college. My mom was very disappointed, very upset because of those 3 reasons, because of the work, the wedding, and well, not really because of all that stuff. She was very disappointed. But I started to spend time with her away from school, like at the house. And I realized that she didn't care much about the needs that I have as a person. And so I said, you know what? Why don't I just give it a try? And me and my ex-husband or my ex-boyfriend can do a party every February the 14th. But just for me, him, his family, and my family. But I would need I would need to get a job so I could pay the party. But I don't think that that's ever going to happen. I don't know how the other people in the family do it to celebrate Christmas every year. I cannot celebrate Christmas with my family. And it's just me, my mom, and my dad. And I cannot go see my dad over there at his house. My dad lives all the way over there in Alamo. And when my parents were going through a separation, we used to live in FAR. They're in the city of FAR. But because of my ex-husband or my ex-boyfriend, who I'm still thinking about every day, he and me had to separate, but they moved me over from Alamo to San Juan because he was a student in the school of Bears. So we ended up separating, but I'm still here around the area where we were boyfriend and girlfriend, where we met, because his house was for him and his family. But the reason we would see each other was because of the classmates and friends that he had, because that was what would keep us busy outside of the house. And I couldn't continue the visits at his house because his mom and dad were very strict. And the mom and the dad were already having problems with him at the house. So I think I'm a good girlfriend. I think I'm a good wife, or I was a good wife when we were living together for more than 6 months. It wasn't exactly a whole year living with him or 2, but it was something like that. So I think I was a good girlfriend. I think I was a good wife, not because I did what he wanted me to, but because I gave them the love and respect that you're supposed to give to your partner when you have one. Now, I'm not putting excuses or anything, I'm just saying the truth of what really happened when we were together. Now, I couldn't tell him if to come and see me or if I could go see him, because he was him and me were going through a separation, and it's been already more than 10 years. It's already been like 14 years or 15 years since the last time that we saw each other, or like 12 years, I don't remember. But yeah, so I'm by myself here in San Juan, and I don't celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving or anything, but we do eat turkey, and we do receive gifts in December, because my birthday is in